Thank you very much. I'm going to talk about integrated solution for capacity building in 21st century Gram Panchayats through technologies called navigated learning technology and workflow automation technology using Petri Net, blockchain, and white space technologies. Yeah, it looks like a lot of words, but I'll try to explain each one of them. For those of you probably who do not know what Gram Panchayat means and how many Gram Panchayats are there in our country, we have 240,000 Gram Panchayats in our country. And each of them is a local government by themselves. Okay? And approximately 1 to 2 crores goes to each Gram Panchayat every year. Okay, that's a lot of money that goes in, so that you know that is the kind of money that gets spent in each Gram Panchayat. And we have approximately 30 lakh or 3 million elected representatives every 5 years. And just so that you know, we have 33% reservation for women, 33% for scheduled caste and OBC, and 33% for general. So what happens in this spectrum of 30 lakhs is we have non-literate, partially literate, and very literate people in this whole spectrum. Okay, and I'll explain to you why it is important. And we also have Gram Panchayat functionaries, which are all the bureaucrats that work in the Gram Panchayats. And we serve approximately 800 million people through these Gram Panchayats. Okay? So just so that you understand, so when we have capacity development, we are looking at capacity of the institution and capacity of the people that run the institution, both from process, people, knowledge, technology, every perspective. So if I want to build a 21st century Gram Panchayat, we are looking at the domain competency that the elected members need to have in order to run the government. Okay, because most of them do not even know how to run a government and use 1 to 2 crores of money. Number two, there are approximately 130 processes. That means 130 processes are necessary for all the 800 million people. So you can understand the amount of transactions that need to happen between people and the government. And I'm only talking about the rural, not about the urban. Okay? And finally, in order to provide both the competency and the workflow automation, we need the infrastructure, which is internet. Okay? So with these three, it is very important to have all these three together in order to build the capacity for the 21st century Gram Panchayat, which is digital India or digital rural India. So building domain competency. When these 30 lakh people get elected, they sit for classes. There is a training program that is done either by satellite or by classroom training, and that is how they learn how to run a government. Till then, they do not know what Gram Panchayat means. So they actually go through a training in different domains. That means they need to know what is Constitution, what is 73rd Amendment, what is finance and accounts, how to run a project, how to run a scheme, how to do grievance redressal, and so on and so forth. A multiple number of books are produced and given to them in the 3-day classes. So you can, and that is done by the National Institute of Rural Development, and the same methodology, that means through books and classroom training, the people are taught. And many of them don't even know how to read the book, so they just sit in the class and walk away. And then they run the government for 5 years. And what happens, the outcome is poor skills development, lack of utilization of domain competency in GP governance. Okay? And this is the actual situation in India today. So less than, say, about 10 to 15% of the people know how to run the government. Otherwise, the functionaries, that means the bureaucrats that are there, they run the government, and these guys put the thumbprint wherever they want. Okay, this is what is happening, and that is how most of the places it's corruption rampant. So what we have done is, we have thought about a new concept called navigated learning technology, and we have used a technology by Guru, which is a foundation from USA, and they have used this technology for primary and middle school education. Okay? That means you locate, this is called GPS for learning. That means you locate the learner at what competency level he has and take him to the destination. Okay? So if you don't know anything about 73rd Amendment and she knows partially. We know exactly how you're located, and the roadmap is given for you to learn about 73rd Amendment so that both of you are competent in 73rd Amendment. Okay? So that is the technology, and that has been implemented in India, Argentina, and USA, etc. What we have done is, we have taken the same technology to train the Gram Panchayat elected members. There are approximately 18 domains, 95 competencies, and approximately 700 micro competencies that have to be taught. And each elected representative is given a personalized roadmap to reach the destination. And that means we can actually track where they are, how much they are learning, and reroute them if they don't know something, and then bring them back. It's just like GPS, how it reroutes us and takes us to the destination. So here are the 19 domains, and the black line is, let us say, the competency level at this moment, and I want them to go to the next level, which is in the orange line. I know exactly how to take them to a learning pathway, and that we can actually see the progress that they go. Okay. Now, this is how we track them through mobile technology, and you can see individually where the students are using, the teacher can actually watch and monitor the students as they're learning. So the next is, the processes have to be improved and optimized and made productive and efficient. Then only the capacity building can happen. And today, many of you, if you have ever gone to Gram Panchayat, to even get a birth certificate or an income certificate, it takes probably 3 to 7 days many times, because you got to stand in line, go 3 times again, and so on and so forth. So what we have done is, we have looked at all the processes that happen in a Gram Panchayat. There are approximately 130 processes, from budget estimation all the way to bank reconciliation, project proposal to utilization certificate, and then procurement. Funding agencies can track what is happening in the Gram Panchayat. There is G2G interaction, G2C interaction, and services like marriage certificate, caste certificate. All these processes can be or have been already programmed into your workflow. So any citizen sitting anywhere in the world can interact with the Gram Panchayat and get all this information or do all the transaction. And just to give you an idea, the complexity of process in a Gram Panchayat is very high. You can see here, just to do what we call one civil work, that means if they want to drill a bore well, or if they want to just build a drainage, this is a number of activities that has to happen. And that gives you an idea, and this is what we call Petri Net Modeling. We model every process using a modeling technology called Petri Net, and then we model all the 130 processes and integrate them into a workflow. So if you want to bring a digital government in 21st century, what we need to do is what we call blockchain integrated workflow automation. Okay? And that automatically gives you legally binding, trustworthy, immutable transactions. Those of you who already know blockchain, you understand many of these things. So basically it gives us secure trusted registries, tokens of proof of transaction, and also auto-executing smart contracts. And the beauty of blockchain is it can cross multiple agencies and in many cases span national borders. So the whole idea of integrating all the workflow is to make sure the people have actual visibility to what is happening in the Gram Panchayat, and that automatically allows them to participate in governance. Today what we are doing is passive voters. That means we vote, for 5 years we sit quiet. Whereas when you provide them information, they become active citizens who actually participate in governance, and that is what we call liquid democracy, and we are looking at bringing blockchain and liquid democracy. Lastly, in order to do all this, you need fantastic infrastructure. Today, you cannot pull optical fibers to every village, and therefore, we are looking at a technology called white space technology, where the Gram Panchayat has a transmitter, and that transmits Wi-Fi to approximately 5 to 8 kilometers around the Gram Panchayat. So all the village, and this uses the old television antenna that we all used to have on top of our houses. Okay, that frequency is free now, and that frequency, people have, Sankhya Technologies has developed the technology along with Bombay IIT. So we want to use that technology to have wireless Wi-Fi or high-speed 100 Mbps internet in all the villages around the Gram Panchayat without pulling an optical fiber. Okay? So this is the whole idea, and journey till now, we have implemented it approximately in 25 Gram Panchayats. We started off with 1 with great difficulty. We reached 25, and we have been awarded a couple of things. Actually, just to give you an idea, we were invited by Afghanistan because they wanted this technology in Afghanistan. So I went there for 4 days, and after that I never went back because nobody else wants to go. I don't mind going, but a lot of people are scared of going. So this is the award that we got from Bihar Innovation. And just to give you an idea, what do stakeholders in the Gram Panchayat say? The citizens love it, GP functionaries love it, GP elected representatives like it, and including the IAS officer like it. But this is all the good story. Now comes the bad story. That is, there are lots of implementation challenges in order to do something like this. It's not easy. Doing a PPT is damn easy, but actually implementing it in Gram Panchayat with so many government officials involved is not a piece of cake. So I thought you should get the learnings from this hard process, but very important process is you have to learn to deal with government decision makers, and they keep changing. So you got to convince each and every one each time, and that's a very tough process. And of course, there are internal government organizations that they don't like external operations to come and improve their process. That is another challenge that we have faced. And a lot of data collection is necessary to digitize everything from Gram Panchayat paper to what is today. And data collection is a problem. And yeah, I'm done. So basically current status is we got navigated turn technology, Petri Net workflow, we have to do blockchain integration. And basically what we are looking is funding and partners to take this literally across the country so that all the 240,000 Gram Panchayats, which is the bottom of the pyramid in our country, becomes transparent, efficient, and productive. Thank you very much.